What you doing, man? What you doing, man? What I doing? What I doing? I can't eat that, man. You just get for treating. I've been driving behind you for 1 hour. You can't stay committed for 1 hour?
I'm trying.
You trying what?
I'm trying.
How you gonna lose weight? How you gonna lose weight? You gotta stay committed, man. This is no game. This is a life and death situation. I'm not gonna waste my time training you, then after training you eating donuts.
I'm sorry, John.
Come on, man. It's a disappointment in you, man.
Yo, my nigga, we up. All right. Put these chips away. You know you're not supposed to be eating that shit.
I know it's my cheat day, my nigga. It's my cheat day.
Hawk is going to
I don't give a fuck about Hawk. I don't give a fuck about Hawk.
Right.
Hawk can't beat me. Yeah, fuck him. What you mean? It's this. Oh, the shit is this. The fuck is you doing, fat? Huh?
That's him, bro.
This
Nothing.
eating that. Who the f is
I got
this?
no problem.
Stop your ass. You be on a diet.
Him.
You hanging with this, eating that dumb shit.
It's him, bro.
That's shit.
Sorry.
Yo, bro, I got you this, my nigga.
We're good looking. Why the f you giving me that shit? Stop giving me that shit. Stop eating that shit, cuz. Stop eating that shit. Shit is f***ing poison.
Let's go, Tim. Pull up, baby. Tim, pull up. You got this. Let's go, Tim. Let's go, Tim. Man, what you doing, bro? You gotta do pull up. What you mean you can't? Why you using the word you can't? Don't never use the word you can't. What's wrong with you, man? You can't even try. You can't try. Come on, get up there, man. Get up there.
All right, Creative Solution is in the house. Monica is in the house.
But every night you out there running around, running these streets, smoking and drinking that nasty Hennessy. You can't pull yourself up. I got something for you. All right, Curtis, man, do it. Can you do something? Come on, man, you gotta want it. You gotta want it. You gotta go deep in your heart and want it. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing out of it. You got
Monica, good point. He's not exactly a trainer for everybody. Yeah, you know, he's not a trainer for everybody. He is not a trainer for everybody. So we're going to get into our little fitness section right now. Let's get it down. Let's get it done. Start with Black women's fitness first, and then go into Black men's fitness and dual fitness for both people. Couple. All right, all right. I'm going to start with Siobhan and Melinda. Let's start with Siobhan first. What do you guys think you need to work on the most in your fitness journey?
Ooh. Oh, come back to me for that. Let me think of
Okay.
that.
How about you, Melinda? Okay, how about
Okay, I got my mic. Yeah, the mic was issue. You know what? Um, I do need to do more, but after kind of listening for the past 2 weeks, y'all, I got to start. The physical is okay, 'cause, I've gotten that together. I think I have to start working on mental stuff and then get back to the physical because I do need to, maintain it. Um, I think that's where I have to make the connection because even just talking to you all and learning, I'm making a lot of connections with myself. I didn't want to go that deep with this, but I'm just saying, um, putting the mental stuff back together so that I can maintain what I've done physically. That's what I have to do.
That's the
But I would,
one
but
of the
weightlifting, but weights.
yeah, that's one of the most
Hmm?
vital things that's one of the most vital things that you can do because everybody knows that it takes you to be mentally involved. You have to commit yourself mentally to your physical activity. And if you're not in it mentally, it's you won't continue it. It will be something you pick up, something you put down, something you pick up, something you put down. So
Hmm.
it's more mental than physical in all actuality. And it's so
Yeah,
easy when you're busy every day and all day to not do it.
yeah,
And it, when I worked in one hospital that I worked at, it was easier to get my physical activity in because we would just run the stairs. We would go during our break
yeah,
stairs, and believe it or not, doing those stairs is like almost a whole body workout because you get your cardio and you get your legs and you're building the biggest muscles in your body. And so if you can manage to eat properly and do that, you have a workout right there at work. So, but it's a mental thing. It's getting into it mentally. And we have so many things that a lot of us have a lot of things that are going on that distract us from that or that impedes us from mentally getting into a rhythm of doing it and being consistent because it takes consistency.
yeah.
I
But
do have a
I would
question.
say weights though. That was my answer to weights.
Okay.
Yeah,
Melinda,
I think the same for me too. Yeah, with the weights.
Melinda, do you have an area in around your house where you can walk?
Yeah, I do. We have
How
the
often do you
bike
walk?
trail, because I'm realizing now, like, I have a lot of anxiety that I have let go for years, and that's kind of what I'm dealing with now, and so that kind of has hindered me from getting out there like I used to, because I really did enjoy my bike and the bike trail. It connects to downtown and everywhere, so I want to
What
get back
aspect
to that, but yeah.
what aspects of weights were you and Siobhan talking about? You go first.
Just little dumbbells, just something where I can just kind of um, concentrate just on that to do some more tone, because I've always been the cardio person, dropping a lot of fat. So I did that, and I just think that I need to work on that also. I was never good at doing both things. It was always just kind of strictly cardio for me. So yeah, I would really like to get some, toning.
In reference to your anxiety, believe it or not, I
Hmm.
had anxiety, a great deal of anxiety as well. The reason why I mentioned walking is that walking is especially um, when you have a quiet area to walk, it can be very therapeutic. I mean,
Hmm.
I used to do it when I used to be worried about something, and every moment I got, if I felt like I was getting a little hyper, I went for a walk. Obviously, this only works if you're in a relaxing area, because if you have to worry about where you're walking, then it won't really help you, because then you get anxiety about where your surroundings.
Right,
But
right.
it's something I would strongly recommend you try. And then at the same time, it's kind of like a double. It's kind of like you get double bang for your buck, because it also helps your body, your body burn calories and heal at the same time. So, and it's something perfect to do. Walking is something perfect to do, especially after a workout, because it allows you to burn extended calories, and then at the same time, kind of chill you out from your strenuous workout.
Yeah, walking is definitely good for anxiety. It's the best actually outside
I've
of
never done it for
swimming.
that. Yeah, I've never even done it for that, y'all. But now I guess it'll kind of help me because like I'll go listen to our these live streams and stuff, and I listen to myself, and I'm like, I want to apologize if I interrupt and stuff, because sometimes I think I get so anxious, I overtalk or I interrupt. I just want to apologize for that, and make to be more aware of it. But for the first time, I will start to do walking for the purpose of helping with my anxiety, and so yeah. And I've been a nurse a long time, and y'all, and I that's stressful too, but so I've just never dealt with my anxiety. I've never wanted to admit that I even had it. So that's a part of it too. So, but thank you. I didn't mean to go deep with this, but I just needed to say
this is actually this is actually some good work right here. I do have another question. Do you find yourself rushing a lot, like rushing to work or rushing to go do something?
Okay. Oh, I have to be at work like I'm an hour early, to where when I get there, if I can't find out everything I need, I get anxious. If something interrupts, I guess, my rhythm of like giving, let's say, meds, I will get really anxious, and I feel like I'm not going to get it done. So I feel very nervous and just, I don't know.
Have you tried,
I feel like it's just
other than maybe allotting more time to get to work and whatever. Have you tried exercises like just standing in one spot for 60 seconds? Just standing there.
I've never done that. I always thought that things like that, like people say deep breath and breathing, I always thought it was ineffective. I just never really took it seriously. So I haven't.
You'll be surprised on how that'll help too. What I mean is that whenever you feel, obviously you can't do it if you're in the middle of an emergency, right? But let's say you're not, right? And obviously if you're not, you don't want to do this in front of your boss either, but at home or other times when you have a break, just stand in one spot for a whole minute and either think of something relaxing or do take deep breaths, but just try standing in one spot.
And Melinda, we realize that's hard to do when you're in nursing, because when you're standing in that one spot, somebody is wanting that one spot of your time. So what I advise, like when because you guys have the Pyxis system for dispensing meds. Is that what you? So when you go into that, when you go into that little closet where the Pyxis is, when you start your shift, put on your headphones for a few minutes while you're doing that, whatever your favorite music is, to help you decompress at the Pyxis machine. Because when it's gonna be rough when you're going out, because you're gonna have call lights, you're gonna be trying to concentrate on making sure you verify all the identifiable information. But if you do that before you head out, while you're getting your meds together in that Pyxis area, you put that music on, and it'll help propel you into what you need to do, because it's your favorite music. It's stimulating and it relaxes you. So that's what you can do right there in that moment.
Okay.
And even when you go back to your computer, when you start charting, put your music back on as much as you can have it on, so that it can calm you down. Because it's hard to do that, and it's hard to get that alone time in that moment to decompress in nursing. But if you're at that desk and you're doing your charting, and you could put your music on, or when you're at the Pyxis machine, you throw your music on real quick, then you have that time, that little bit of time to do you. And then on your break, you can get away from that area and hit the stairs.
I will. I'm gonna tell y'all, in the 26 years I'm in tell you how I've probably had in 26 years, literally probably taken 20 breaks total. I don't like I don't take breaks because I feel like something's going to happen while I'm gone. So again, all this stuff, and I look at nurses who do, and they take their break and they insist on it and they don't want to be bothered on it. And I finally look at this, look, all this time that's passed. I need to start doing that because, I still have to work. I still have to, do, for the meantime, this is my career. It's all I know. Right. So, and then I'm, then the moving. So I got that kind of anxiety too, that, like leaving Houston, moving, but this has been with me a long time. If y'all say that these things work, I'm going to try them and I'll report back to you. Cause I will report back to you, but I've had this for so many years and I didn't know what it really was. And I have nurses who take medicine, so I don't take any, any medicine.
Yeah, a lot of
but
they do. A lot of them take medicine. What do you do what's your commute time?
I do agency now, so I'll go to like Clear Lakes for maybe 45 minutes when I work, and I probably get 2 to 3 shifts a week. So commute time is about 45 minutes, and I love driving. That's something I do love. So I enjoy driving.
Yeah. So what do you do during your commute? What is your mind like during your commute?
I'll listen to like YouTube.
This type of what type of
my mind is okay until I get there, and then I'm in war mode. Then I'm literally like, okay,
So if you're
here we go.
If you're in war mode, when you get there, you need to be in pre-war mode. You need to be to center your mind in pre-war mode. And if you're listening to certain things on YouTube, like the train wrecks, that's not getting your mind ready for
right.
So
you're right.
I had my commute was the same time, and I listened to. For me, it was different during my first commute. And my last commute. My first commute would be music. My last commute would be spiritual. So I listened to some pastors on my way home. But my first commute would be music. And so you listening to certain stuff on YouTube before you go is like having a war before you go to war.
It is.
So I advise you not to make YouTube once a week, every other day, every other time or whatever, but you need to get your mind ready for the war that you feel like you're getting ready to enter. And you have to, it's hard a lot of times to take breaks, especially as nurses. And then it's unhealthy because even in that, you're not even eating properly. You're not even getting to sit down and really consume your food properly. So you're going to have to make that time, even if you only take one of your 15-minute breaks. You got to take at least one of them. You have to, for your mental well-being and for your physical well-being. You have to, even if you do nothing on it, you need that time for yourself. And I know a lot of nurses will go down and sit in their car for that 15 minutes.
Yeah, some people do. They just go out, just leave the building. And that's, you're right. Well, I'm okay. So that, because I like opera, so I'll start kind of focusing more on that. And then staying in one place.
Opera is soothing, and people don't. I love classical music. I love opera.
Beautiful.
Music. It's very soothing. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, thank y'all for the tips. I'm going to employ those, and I will let you know.
All right, Siobhan.
Okay.
We're back to you.
No, yeah, I was just saying that I needed to work on getting back into weights because I don't have a problem walking or anything like that. It's just the weights more so because I do a lot of lifting, but I'm really trying to cut back on that. I mean, and when I mean lifting for all of my, for my career and my hobbies and my side hustles. So I'm always physically busy, but I notice that I need to actually get into some more, weightlifting and strengthening just outside of, waiting until I show up for a job or something and have to do it. So.
Cool.
Creative, hi. Welcome to the stage. What do you have to say?
Only thing I can say that I could work on is endurance. I just want to be able to run at a longer distance because sometimes after it's like a half a mile, I just be wanting to like give up. So I need to work on my endurance, I would say.
L-glutamine helps that.
She is correct. Glutamine helps a lot, and so does let me grab the bottle. I'll be right back. Also music.
Yes, I wouldn't be able to do everything that I need to do if I didn't have the music. My music really, really motivates me to keep pushing through.
Yeah, Alaline helps a lot too.
Yeah, you gotta have music.
Yeah, creative. I've been in your situation too. I think it's more. Do you feel it's more of being bored than the run itself? Or do you catch yourself getting out of breath earlier than you feel you need to?
I'm getting out of breath. My legs and everything start burning. It is just like maybe it's a mental thing because I need to like keep pushing past that breaking point. Like
Have you tried pacing yourself? Maybe slowing down a little bit.
yeah, but I think it's like a mental thing for me. I still be like, you know.
Tried alternating between walking and running.
Yes, I think that
Right,
might
yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with walking. Let me tell you, a lot of bodybuilders who are trying to strip down for their competition, they don't run, they walk. We walk. It will burn fat just as good. Running is good for your heart, for cardio. Walking actually helps you burn more calories and it doesn't burn more calories. It just helps you burn more calories in opposed to stopping your exercise completely.
Hey DJ, do you have that video queued up with the with Dr. Mike?
I think I do. Let's go through it. Boom. Before I start, I'm telling you this creative because I ran into that situation myself. I would run for a little bit, be out of breath, be kneeling over and stuff and keeling over, and it's like, damn, I don't want to do this shit. So so I would at the beginning I would stop and just say that's enough for the day. But then what I would do, but later on, what I started doing is just walking whenever until I caught my breath. You see what I'm saying? I will walk, catch my breath, and I might walk for the remainder of that exercise. Or I would, as soon as I felt comfortable enough to run, I would run for a little bit and then walk some more. Run for a little bit and then walk some more. Whenever I felt comfortable, the key was I made myself feel comfortable first. If you see what I'm saying, because duration is so important. Duration is so important. You're better off walking for 30 minutes than running for 10. So whatever gets you to that point is what you're looking for. So let me play this video. Here we go.
How to walk to get under 10% body.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Got it.
Fat. 10 simple tips. Hi, Dr. Mike Diamonds. That's me. Losing fat won't be as easy as just rubbing your belly away. In my 7 years of dieting and fat loss, cardio ranks as one of the most important tools. Comparing my 2022 transformation from June to September, there was one piece of cardio I incorporated that made me getting to 10% body fat so much easier. In my opinion, there isn't a much simpler and more powerful tool. If you want to burn calories and lose fat.
For a second, Venus Scorpio said this, and this is a damn good comment. Running is so hard on the ankles and knees, and it is. Nothing wrong with a cool walk. Do not be shamed thinking walking is the walk of shame. It is not. It's great exercise. Professional athletes use it. Professional bodybuilders, it's a staple. These are people who are super fit.
I was going to tell you what a cardiologist said to us years ago. He said, you can run if you want to. He said, walking's better. He said, but run. He said, you'll just be a beautiful corpse. I'm sorry. That was dark. You'll be a beautiful corpse.
That was a good one. That cardiologist was a pretty smart man.
without even breaking a sweat. Walking is the answer. Walking doesn't seem to
Monica has a good question here. Should a certain speed, say treadmill walking, a certain speed, it's you want to focus. This is really important. This is super important right here. Speed means nothing. What is important is your heart rate. And what is important is that you have a device that you can wear in your wrist or your chest that will measure that. So you want something. It really depends on your age. Monica, judging by your age, you look like you're in your 30s. So your heart rate that you want to keep will be different than mine. But I can tell you this, if you're in the 115s to 125, it's a good general 44. Please, woman, please. You do not look 44. Forget that. Anyway, Monica, there's a way that if you have like I have an Apple Watch, but if you have a Samsung watch or any of those other Fitbit kind of watches, there's software that goes with it. What you do is you put your age in there, you put your weight, you put your goals and everything, and it will automatically calculate the heart rate you're supposed to be at. But in general, 120 will work for just about anybody at or above 30 years of age. That 120, you can't go wrong with 120. If that's too high for you, if 120 is too high, you got cardio things you need to work on, and should be going to the doctors. So that's one thing you should focus on though. So again, everybody, if you do not have a fitness device for your heart rate, you should strongly consider getting one. It does not have to be expensive. There are some that can measure your heart rate accurately that are under $100. I believe Fitbit is one of the ones that do that. And I'm not trying to advertise for them. All I know is that in my expensive journey of trying to find an accurate heart rate monitor, Fitbits and Apple Watches were on the top of the list. Doesn't mean I'm telling you to go out and get an Apple Watch, especially if you don't have one. Fitbits are perfectly fine as well. But if you have an Apple Watch, I've seen people buy an Apple Watch and not even use a heart rate monitor on it, even though it has all that good stuff built into it. That is the key. Heart rate is how you measure. See, when your watch or when your system, whatever you use to measure your body fat or to measure what you're burning calories, they do it by heart rate 90% of the time. It's very important. So that's what I would use. Panel, do you have any questions or comments?
I know in your 20s, especially when I was doing that in my 20s, I would just stop and count, with a little hand watch or whatever. And 140s was a good range to have, in your 20s though. But I do have a question. What about gluten, y'all? Because I went to someone years ago and they said that just cutting gluten would help people lose weight. And I know gluten is like a protein, but
it's like a weird protein that's not that good for some reason. It's right. Not because of its protein, because obviously we know protein's good. It's something that it does to the body. And I don't know. I'll be honest with you, Melinda. I have not read up on gluten that much. I just stayed away from it, and it worked.
Okay, cool.
I want to go over Truth's question. I get to 170 or 180 sometimes. Is that too high? Truth, if you're 40 plus, that's kind of getting up there. It's not too high for a slim trim athlete doing their thing. 170, 180. I would call your doctor, have them tell you. They know, especially if you've been to them. I would ask them, and then I would regulate that. If they say no, that's fine. then you're fine. If they say, you should be a little bit lower, I would regulate to that. That's why it's so important to have a heart rate monitor, because it's believe it or not, having a heart rate monitor watch probably would have saved Kevin Samuel's life, because you would know that something's going on if your heart rate would either your resting heart rate or your exercise heart rate was too high. People don't know that, but if your resting heart rate or your exercise heart rate is too high without any load without any extra load or standard load being put on your body, there's something your heart is working too hard for what it's putting out. So, but yes, 170 to 180, myself, I would be concerned myself, but I'm a lot older than you. Truth, I think I'm a lot older than Truth. Truth, I believe you're 40-ish, 35, 30, 40-ish, but there really is a formula to find out what your heart rate you're looking to, your target heart rate and your max heart rate is. I think there's some math you can do as well, which is your age minus your maximum heart rate for the given age minus something else. But the best, I think, if you Google, the best thing to do is Google my heart rate, my heart rate zone, Google heart rate zone for me. And then usually a chart will come up, and you put in your age, you put in your weight, you put in your goal, and it'll come up, it'll tell you your range. But the last thing you want to do though is if you're just starting your workout, do not go near your max. Do not go near your max. For the first, I would say, month, you should be right flat in the middle, which, believe it or not, usually comes around 120. Then start edging yourself up. You don't want to find out the hard way that you have a heart problem. You don't. So, and
I'd like to throw something in.
Oh, please do, Melinda. Go for it.
Also, with the rate, like the 170s, 180s, the rate is one thing, but when it's certain rates are related to certain rhythms, what is a dysrhythmia. So like if you get an EKG, because I think that's a baseline EKG is something good for all of us to do, because sometimes we'll have, a lot of people have like AFib, and so that's that kind of rate is that rhythm is associated with high rates like that. So I would do that. So, you need to know your rhythm. And also, what else? Let's see. Yeah, I think an EKG, you can get them at these little medical places, or if you have insurance, just go ahead and have when you go to a doctor, have them do an EKG, because with normal sinus rhythm, that's kind of high, because you could have something else going on, and they have medications for whatever that is, but at least get it diagnosed.
Right. And a good go-to is all things Nandagene says. Taking baby aspirin, 81 milligrams, is the best thing to take to help with blood pressure. It's, believe it or not, it's actually legit blood pressure med. They might want to give you something else, but the good thing about this is it helps against stroke. It helps against stroke.
Right, because a bad rhythm, like with fast like that, it's throwing clots, it's throwing blood. So what's like, if it's not a regular rhythm, that's the issue. Is the rate is one thing, but the rhythm is another thing. So if taking aspirin, yes, and you may need another medication. Aspirin, daily aspirin is good, but I would still go and get an EKG. If you're working out and your heart rate gets up to like 180s, I would go to the doctor and just get an EKG, because it's not going to be a rhythm that's helping you either. It's it's not even helping you.
One thing, I don't know if you guys talked about it, was that a lot of times when you go to the doctor, if you have to be your own advocate, and a lot of times some people are seen once a year, some people are seen twice a year, but you're your best advocate, and some things can be alleviated with through food through changing diet and through exercise. And so a lot of times you may be put on medication for a specific thing, but ask about nutrition and ask about exercises that can help you with those things, especially when you're talking about hypertension, diabetes, and what's the other one? Hypertension, diabetes, and cholesterol.
Yeah, those definitely I think you can control through food, but a bad rhythm, they'll have to give you something for that one.
Truth. Yeah, you're 42. I would say, believe it or not, you're doing. I would keep it around 160 max for now until you get a full check on your cardiovascular system. I would keep it around 160 max. Probably you're doing just fine. 135, 145. You're burning some calories right there. You're doing good. Why? No, yeah, no need to risk it.
Yeah, and also all people aren't created equal. And so what you may function at, someone else may not function at. And that's why Melinda is saying go ahead and make sure that your heart is actually operating the way that it should be. Your rhythm may be fine for you. It may not be normal for someone else, but it may be fine for you. Because I know for me, I function with low blood sugars. And they're always asking me, is this normal for you? And yes, it is. That's my norm. And I function well and don't have any problems. Like I have problems if my blood sugar gets over 90. And Melinda, you know, that's like normal. But
wow. I was gonna ask you that. I bet you're one of those people, if it gets to 90 or 120, you probably are falling asleep and sick.
Yeah, I'm sick. I function at like 54.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Girl, I'm jittery and passing out at that. Wow.
Nope, I'm perfectly fine.
Right. There was something. Oh, what fat burning supplements would you ladies suggest?
Nothing. Just.
Yeah, I don't use those. Yeah, I don't use those.
Yeah, I don't either.
I have to admit, I do drop some L-carnitine, but that's because.
That's what you mean, like amino acids.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like remember Rip Fuel from the 90s and 2000s. I thought you meant something like that.
That stuff is sent. That's almost as bad as Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull. I would say L-carnitine and L-glutamine.
Yep. That works for me. But let me play a little bit more of this and we'll come back. But this is we're getting some work done in here. We're getting some work done.
Qualify as cardio because it's easy. And when it comes to exercise, easy is usually equated to worthless. We do understand that you need to burn more calories than you eat to lose weight, establishing a caloric deficit through the diet. When it comes to fat loss, the only thing that matters is how many calories you burn versus how many calories you eat. Once the diet is in check, the next easiest thing you can.
That's a very good advice to a point, though. There's also, if you eat preservative-ridden food, it throws off your body's ability to burn fat. Just remember that. So just because you ate below your amount, but it's all McDonald's foods, right? But you burned it's not going to work the same. It's not going to work the same as if you cooked your own burger. So believe it or not, in some cases you can have a burger, but a cooked burger versus a McDonald's burger, they're not even really the same food group.
Right. And we have a video about that too, right?
Yes, sure do. Here we go.
Can do is walking. In my own personal experience, when walking was my main form of cardio, I saw an accelerated rate of fat loss. And you could see this comparing my 2019 competition prep, where cardio at the gym was my main form, versus cardio in 2022, where walking was my predominant form of cardio. Getting under 10% body fat was much easier walking. In this video, I'll be sharing 10 tips to get walking more and lose more fat.
At walking, I'm telling you, it's underrated. It's underrated. I'm telling you, And to me, I enjoy walking because it's relaxing to me more than running is. It's just that for me, that's how I feel.
No,
A
I agree with the
2017 study released by
I'm sorry, somebody.
No, I was saying I agree with the walking. Yeah, that's the least. I mean, that's just like the least you could do, but it means so much, you know. You just have to find different places. Don't stay in the same place. You know, drive somewhere and go take a walk, you know, and look at some nice scenery, and you'll be surprised how the time will pass by.
Exactly.
by the journal Nutrition divided 82 overweight men and women into two groups for 12 weeks. Both groups were subject to a caloric restricted diet. However, group 2 walked roughly 20 minutes every day. The results? The group that included walking lost an extra 3.5 pounds of fat from 20 minutes of daily walking. Imagine if they included an extra 1 or 2 20-minute walks a day. This supports why I was able to drop weight at a faster rate. In this video, I'll be sharing the 10 tips to increase your steps and to lose that belly fat for good. But before we dive in, a lot of research and editing goes into making a video like this. I work my ass off. Just do me one favor. If you wouldn't mind, gently bless the like button. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new. Let's kick it off. Tip 1. A common problem with getting any exercise at all is time. The same goes with walking. In my experience with myself and all of my clients, waking up an hour earlier seems to be the most simple solution to get a bulk of your steps out of the way. Taking a walk around your neighborhood in the morning, responding to all your messages or emails, listening to a podcast is an easy way to knock out 6,000 steps in your day. Another advantage of this is avoiding getting fatigued from vigorous exercise in the morning. Personally, the endorphins and mental clarity I get through walking in the morning is unmatched. Tip 2. At the gym, I highly recommend walking before your work.
That's how he said mental clarity.
This is the easiest way to warm up your body and joints. The main purpose behind warming up is to increase your core body temperature, which improves performance and reduces risk of injury. Doing this allows for proper blood circulation and readies the muscle for any tension. Doing 10 to 15 minutes pre-workout can easily help you hit anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 steps in that session. Tip 3. Whenever you get the chance, walk. And let me explain. My strategy during prep was to always take a walk when I can. Granted that I have a Chow Chow Blue, I'm forced to walk. But the strategy I suggest to many of my friends and clients are, if you can, take a walk. For example, if your gym is 15 minutes away, rather than taking advantage of that and driving to the gym, the same goes for you going to the grocery store. Rather take a walk if possible. Tip 4. This can take a lot of self-discipline, but at any chance you get, take the stairs. If you live in an apartment building, you can drastically improve your steps and cardiovascular activity doing this alone. Tip 5. If needed, I always recommend to do your formal cardio after your workout. The reason being, you'll have the most energy before any workout. Dedicating those vital calories to the workout will infer more benefits and long-term withholding muscle compared to doing cardio first. Doing 20 minutes of walking or more post-workout is fantastic. If you do 10 minutes of your walking before your workout as a warm-up and then another 20 minutes post-workout, that gives you roughly 3,000 steps in the gym alone. Tip 6. Imagine finishing your workout. Creating the habit of parking your car far away from your location can help you burn more calories. What typically happens, your body finds intelligent ways to attenuate your need. Parking your car at the furthest parking spot at the gym or the grocery store
It's safe.
will make a massive impact if you do so consistently after a month. Tip 7. Professor Stuart Biddle of the Start Active, Stay Active report reviewed the evidence and recommended taking an active break from sitting every 30 minutes. A study showed that by trading 2 minutes of sitting for 2 minutes of light intensity activity each hour lowered the risk of premature death by 33%. Stand up every hour and walk around your apartment for 5 minutes. What I tend to do every hour are get up and organize my kitchen or living room, go get a cup of water to drink. My Apple Watch reminds me when I need to stand up. So I make a habit of getting up every hour and pace around for 5 minutes. Tip number 8 is take walks in the evening. So if you're working a 9 to 5, have an hour to 30 minutes to be able
Safe.
to go for a walk around your neighborhood or take a walk around a garden or a park near your area. And having these intentional walks in the evening are great stress relievers and also a fantastic way to make sure before you go to bed, you're capping your day off with steps. Having dedicated spaces within your day, just like you'd schedule in any other event in your day, having steps and going for walks is fantastic. Tip number 9 is a jump rope. Why I love jump ropes is that you can do them anywhere. You can do them in your apartment. I can do them in my office. And I'm not great at it, but I absolutely love it. The cardio is fantastic. It really does get your heart rate up there. And because you're jumping, those are considered steps. So that's a fantastic way to gather your steps. And then the final one is that in a
These are good.
typical gym routine, you have 21 sets. In between each and every single set, instead of sitting down on the bench, being on your phone, pace up and down the gym. This is a fantastic habit to build. I have the habit.
Pace up and down the gym. That's not, you can pace up and down around your apparatus where you're working around so nobody steals it. But I've done this before and basically you come back to somebody taking your spot. So maybe not around the gym unless you know that it's going to be there when you come back, but you can still pace back and forth when you are working out in front of the equipment you're using.
Of never sitting down, and you'll be so surprised how many steps you can accumulate. And also another tip that I want to leave you with is using Stepper, or as you guys do know it as a Stairmaster, is a fantastic way to get in your steps. Personally, my favorite cardio tool of all time. So that is the video. Those are 10 tips that can help you with getting your steps up. And the way I tell all my clients is, if you can manage to get 8,000 steps a day, you're almost guaranteeing burning X amount of fat tissue off each and every single year, right? By the amount of steps. So you will almost never see a particular weight just because you're super diligent with getting your steps in. And that being said, I do have a few spots open for coaching. If you're interested in working with me, the link is in the description. And as I promised in the previous video, I am dropping that ebook for you guys. It's going to be in the description of this video for the first 10 to 20 minutes, I believe. So go in the link in the description, download that. You guys deserve it. I appreciate all of you for supporting me. And like the video if you did enjoy it. If you guys want me to drop the book in the next video, if you didn't get it, maybe you came 30 minutes late.
All right, so that we're gonna go to the next video real quick. I want to show you an exercise that I want you to do. This is the barbell bent over row. The reason why I want you to do it is because regardless whether you have weight or not, you can do it. Even if you don't have bar weights, if you have save up for 2-gallon water bottles. If you buy milk or if you buy water, just don't throw them away. That's all you have to do. Put a little water in there so you can do this, and you can actually do a dumbbell version of this. But watch this closely. I want you to watch the form real quick. Here we go.
Set up to the bar so that it is centered over your feet in a hip-width stance. Bend at the hips and grip the bar using a double overhand grip with your arms just outside of your knees and thighs. This will be your starting position. Keeping your chest up and your back straight, push through your heels to move the bar upward. Once the bar passes the knees, aggressively pull it back into your body, pulling your shoulder blades together as you drive your hips forward into the bar. Lower the bar by bending at the hips and guiding it to the floor. Immediately transition into a barbell row position, bending at the hips so that your chest is nearly parallel to the ground. Keeping your core tight and back straight, perform a barbell row by pulling the bar upwards to your sternum. Lower the bar to the floor by extending your arms. This is 1 complete repetition.
That right there, I am telling you, this is something good right here. And I'll tell you why. It works your lower body and your upper body. It works the two largest groups on your body, literally. The bent over row, the bent over row and the deadlift works your whole body. You need to start out light because you'll be surprised how this will get your heart rate up. But you
So
do
those are two different exercises in one, right?
right.
So he's
being used in one. But what he's doing. This is really a superset. So basically, what he's doing is he's doing one exercise first. With no rest, he goes into the other exercise.
So the first exercise is the deadlift, and the second one was the row, right?
Correct. But since the cool thing about it is the positioning is similar for both, but they still work. They work the thighs, the legs, the hamstring, the quad, the glutes, the quads, the hams, the shoulders, the back, the lats. It's like an all-in-one bargain workout. You can do about, when you get going, you can do about 5 or 6 of these, and you're going to burn some calories. Just be careful because it does get your heart rate up because you're working so much muscle tissue at the same time that, see, when you do arm curls, you're only working your biceps. Even if you do a bench press, all you do working is shoulders, chest, and a little bit of abs. This is working just about every muscle in your body because it needs to. Even if it's not the direct muscle group, it's a supportive muscle group. If you want to burn a lot of calories, this is a good exercise right here to do. An excellent exercise. But I'll tell you one thing though, you don't want to look like this guy leaving the gym.
Oh, buddy, you hit the legs today, huh? Oh, my boy. You all right, boss? Thank you. Boss, you good? Huh? You good? Oh, you doing that shaky. Shaky.
There's no.
That's complete muscle failure right there.
Wow. Yeah.
I felt similar to that day before yesterday.
That's a little bit too much right there.
Right, but you've done some workout when it's hard to go down the stairs as opposed to go up the stairs, or when you have to sit down and it's hard, you have to hold something to sit down because you worked out so hard.
Just one more quick video. We're not going to probably get through the whole thing because it's 16 minutes long, but we just want to get an idea what to eat, just to get some food for thought. No pun intended. Here we go. Get past his intro.
10 high protein foods you should be eating to lose belly fat fast. One macronutrient can make the difference between being skinny fat and being lean and muscular. When I implemented all the advice I'm about to share in this video, my physique changed. So did my clients Wayne, Montino, and Avalon, and all the hundreds of clients I've coached over the years. When I first started training, I watched hundreds of videos on fat loss and building muscle. A common theme that I would see with these videos was that you need to drink protein powder. Without doing the research, I went out and bought my first tub of protein powder with the hopes of seeing immediate results. I would take 2 scoops every day while pairing it with a horrible diet, thinking my daily protein intake was enough. Now, I did see results, but I could have maximized these results by implementing more protein to my diet? Absolutely. Protein functions as the primary catalyst for muscle growth and promotes fat loss, but only when it's done right. Protein is a macronutrient that some people struggle to get an appropriate amount in their diet in order to build muscle and lose fat, mainly because it's considered to be less palatable than other foods that are high in carbs and fats. In this video, I'll be showing you the 10 high protein meals to help you lose belly fat and build muscle in addition. But before we get to the 10 foods, let me explain what makes a good protein source. Firstly, is food's leucine content. As shown by studies, leucine is an essential amino acid in content and the digestibility of one. Chicken is the most commonly consumed high protein food and found to be cost effective. $1 of chicken breast gets you 26 grams of protein. The breast is considered to be the leanest part. It has little to no fat, but that's excluding the skin, which contains excess calories, adding anywhere between 3 to 4 times the amount of fat to your meal. So, if you're looking to maximize your protein intake with chicken, be sure to remove the skin, and you'll be getting a good amount of protein in. With 85 grams of chicken breast, you can easily get 27 grams of protein. Chicken is a protein source that can easily be found almost at any local supermarket or grocery store and can be incorporated into your lunch or dinner. A quick and easy chicken breast meal that you can use is using some soft tortilla wrap. Tilapia. Tilapia is popular, relatively inexpensive. Lean ground beef. Compared to the other sources of protein, lean ground beef can be more expensive at 11 grams of protein per dollar. Unfortunately, lean ground beef is a bit more expensive than regular ground beef, but it is surely worth the cost. Lean ground beef contains a good amount of protein compared to the other ground beefs. Reason being, per gram of lean ground beef, there's less fats. The goal is to remove as much fat from the diet as possible, and by adding lean ground beef to
You're on keto.
diet, you're reducing the amount of fat you're ingesting. But by how much? Per 30 grams of lean ground beef, there's about 15 grams fat. When we compare this with regular ground beef, there's 62 grams of fat per 30 grams. Let's continue the video. Eggs and egg whites. We love a whole egg, especially because we can get 18 grams of protein per dollar. Having them scrambled with toast, boiled, making a delicious omelet, or even having it with a fried rice meal. Whole egg
Be careful when you do the toast. It needs to be, I'm sorry, it's got to be that good bread. Don't be getting that cheap bread.
Contains a considerable amounts of calories and micronutrients that come with the egg yolk. All of that fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K in the eggs are found in the yolk. In addition, the yolk contains the healthy fats and cholesterol necessary for the production of hormones such as testosterone. When dieting, the yolk can add a considerable amount of fats to the diet that can make it difficult to incorporate. This is where,
and if you're on keto, you know what time it is. As long as you keep your calories down, you'll be fine. But if you go over that, that fat could kick you in the ass.
Where egg whites come in. 4 whole eggs are a total of 312 calories, 28 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, and 21 grams of fat. Those are amazing macros except for the high fats. Personally, on my current diet, that would take away half of my total fats for the day. 8 egg whites gives you the exact amount of protein and carbohydrates minus all the fats, and 40% less total calories at 137 calories. When making my breakfast meal, I sometimes add a whole egg with my egg whites to still have that delicious yolk in there. In general, egg whites are a game changer for anyone's diet. Whey protein. Whey is especially popular with athletes and bodybuilders because of its amino profile, which is high in leucine. Whey protein is a great substitute if you're unable.
Protein is okay too, but whey is a little bit better as far as protein content. But because I think P is missing something in it. I forgot what chain it is, but it's missing something.
To reach your protein intake.
Wait, can you repeat that? I didn't hear the first part of what you were saying.
Oh, whey protein is great, but a lot. Some people like to be all vegetarian, so pea protein works better for vegetarian. Unfortunately, though, pea protein is missing a certain amino acid in it that whey protein has. And I can't remember what it is right now, but I'll look it up later.
Scoops of protein powder, you can get anywhere from 30 to 40 grams of protein, which is higher than most whole foods. Whey protein should be used as a supplement when you can reach your protein goals. It shouldn't be your primary substance for protein. Using this and other sources will work wonders for you. DeVries and colleagues describe consumption of whey protein has a robust ability.
Just eating it with something, a snack of something else. For some reason, it tends, for me at least, it seems to absorb better.
To stimulate muscle protein synthesis. In fact, whey protein has been found to stimulate muscle protein synthesis to a greater degree than other proteins such as casein and soy. Tuna. Canned tuna is also another great animal-based protein source that is very rich in protein. Believe it or not, tuna is into the top 3 of the cheapest protein sources, coming in at 34 grams of protein per dollar. The fat to protein ratio is so low. Out of all the protein sources on the list, it's almost purely protein.
Obviously, be careful what you mix it in with. If you put it in with something that's nasty, then it won't work. Do we have any questions or comments on the panel?
For me, when I tell you, because for me to get into the groove, I have to go all in. It's all in or nothing for me. And so that's where I do the weighing of the food and everything. But I still wasn't able to get my protein in for the day, so I did have to supplement with the whey.
Melinda?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if someone is doing like low carb or something, let's say you don't really cook a lot, if you go and get omelets like at restaurants, be aware that they put like pancake batter in the omelet to make it fluffier. So it may not move your carbs that much, but just be aware of that.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they put some of the pancake batter in the omelet. That's why they're so fluffy like that. Mm-hmm.
Point. Good point.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that I ate out for when I was doing it, because it's hard to count when you're eating out and at a lot of different places. I hardly eat out at all. I mean, really, I make most of my food at home, like the overwhelming majority of it. But the only thing that I did when I was eating out was a steak. And right now I'm in detox. And so my first meal will be 2 days in a row will be steak and apple. And that, believe it or not, you drop 2 pounds a day. If that's your only meal and you eat a steak and an apple, you'll drop 2 pounds immediately.
Wow.
All right. How about you, Siobhan? What do you think?
No, I'm just listening to you guys because I was unaware about a lot of things. I'm pretty, standard and basic. I don't really step too much far out because every time I turn around, it's always don't do this, don't do that. So it gets a little disenchanting. So I just kind of stick to, the basics of things. So I'm just learning from you guys. Thank you for
Understood.
Yeah, I just keep it real simple because you know how every time you turn around, it's like do this, do that. Like, and DJ just taught me with the protein shakes because it goes from what brand to use. Then they turn around, oh, don't use this, and then they say, and then I thought you only could drink it, so I didn't know that you could mix it in with other things. So it's just like it gets a little overwhelming. So it's just good to have this platform and to have you guys talk about it and have the knowledge of it, because I just stick to strictly smoothies or, strictly juicing and just all the regular basics that I know that I've always known were tried and true. But it's hard to get into this new age stuff because it's just so many different pros and cons to it. Every time you turn around, it's a new video telling you, or some new commentary telling you not to do it, to do it, so it gets confusing.
Agree.
One thing I will say is to do what works for you. And
Right.
if you want to incorporate something, just one little thing, incorporate one little thing and see how your body responds to that. And have that and do that for a while so you're not overwhelmed, because it is very, very, very overwhelming. I had to, the protein shakes that I was getting, it was pre-made. They don't even make them anymore. So it's like, oh God, I have to figure out how to get the same nutrients and the same amount of protein in something that tastes good. And so I had to do a deep dive and a hunt for a product that worked. And I finally found something. I don't know if it's going to work because I was using the whey with milk protein, and I just wasn't seeing the same effect that I saw with the other protein the whey protein isolate that I was using. I wasn't seeing the same effect. So now that I have the whey protein isolate, it's in powder form. I'm going to see how it works. And sometimes it's a lot of trial and error. But if you do a little bit at a time, you won't be so overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. And you won't be discouraged where you just stop doing everything altogether.
Right. Yeah. Because remember when the keto diet hit, everybody got on it. Then they start coming out with these warnings. So I think it's just like things start to get extreme. And then, people dive in and then they get confused. And, then they forget that it is based off of, it is an individual journey. Everybody's not going to have, the same results.
Right. And I attempted to do keto, but what I do is a modified keto and low carb combination because I can't get that much fat either. I'm just not a foodie. And so everything doesn't work for me because I can't get the nutrients in like you would have to eat as much as you would have to eat. So that was my struggle.
All right, creative. You sleep? I
Yes,
think.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Okay, so I would say, through my life and on my journey, the one mineral that I really, really, really loved and I seen like drastic results and everything was Vitamin Mineral Green. And it's either you can you can mix it with some water or you can take the capsules. And like that really helps me with everything. And I think they have different products, but Vitamin Mineral Green, and then they had another one like it's called Earth, and that was really good because it had Shilajit in there. So those are I find like those are the very good products. It gets your energy levels up. It's good for working out. It's good for your overall body. So yeah, it was a Vitamin Mineral Green. You can find it on Amazon. It's pretty expensive, but it's worth the price. So
It's
that's
a
my
powder.
It has powder and capsules.
Oh, okay.
I give that 10 stars across the board.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Creative, would you mind doing a Q&A on vitamins next Sunday? Would that be okay?
Yeah, of course. You gotta tell me what time because I was waiting for you. I was like, it's all good.
Yeah, I'll give you the time. I'll set it up Monday so you know for the preceding Sunday.
Okay, no problem.
Fantastic. Right, everybody. I'd like to thank everyone for coming through. We have another live coming up pretty soon, so we have to close the fitness one down, and then we have the we have one coming up. It's about failing leadership of the red pill system. And if you have any comments, check that live out in I guess it's coming up soon. It's coming up real soon. So anybody check that out. Thank you so much for coming through. If you have any questions, feel free to post comments. If you haven't yet, please like the video if you feel like it helped you out a little bit. Thank you very much for coming through, and see you on later tonight.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all be safe.
Thank
too.
you. You doing another show?
Yeah, almost back to back.
Okay.
Okay, see you guys soon.